Hi guys, time for another project. Today we're going to make a barometer. Now a barometer is an instrument for predicting the weather. So what a barometer does is it measures the atmospheric pressure. So if there's high pressure, it means that the weather's going to be nice. And if there's low pressure, it means it's going to be windy and rainy, basically. So this device, what we can do is we can measure what the air pressure is on the top of this jar using a balloon. And then that will give us this will go up or down and give us a gauge as to how high or low the pressure is. So what you're going to need is a jam jar with a lip. It's got to have a little lip on it. A pair of scissors. Be careful with these. Get an adult to help you. A balloon. I've got a pretty cool wacky coloured one. Some tape. An elastic band probably be useful. And then what I've got here is a chopstick, but a straw is better, like a drinking straw, because it's very light. So this might be a bit too heavy, but we'll see. So you need a drinking straw, or maybe one of those little thin, lightweight coffee stirrers would be good as well. And then you're also going to need some paper or card. I've got some paper here. Cardboard would be better because it's more rigid, but we'll do it with this just for now. So the first thing you're going to do is take your balloon and you're going to snip it so that it's about in half. So we'll do that first. And you're going to keep this bit. That bit you can put to one side. And this bit, what we're going to do is we're going to stretch it over the lip of the jar. And what you want to try and get is the little knobbly bit in the middle that shows you where the middle of the balloon is, in the middle of the jar if you can. So, like that. And now what you need to do, you can put an elastic band around here, like that, to sort of help hold it in place. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some tape around it as well, to stop it coming off. Just around the edge, and be careful that you don't put any tape on this bit, because this bit's got to stay nice and flexible so that it can move. This tape is just to stop it from pinging off, basically. And if you've got a big enough balloon and the jar's not too massive, that shouldn't happen anyway. So now you've got this jar, which is a bit like a drum. That's quite cool, actually. And you're going to take your straw, or your chopstick, whatever it is, and you're going to tape it so that the end is in the middle. And if you've got your balloon in the middle with the little knobbly bit in the middle, then that should be quite easy. So what we'll do, and you could do this with a spot of glue if you wanted. I'm going to use a little bit of tape. I'm going to make the tape as small as I can because we don't want too much stuff resting on the balloon because that could affect how well it works. So that's going to go in the middle there. Like that. So now what we've got is, we've got this stick, so that when there's pressure on the top here, that's going to push that end up like that. And when there's less pressure, the air inside will push the balloon up, and that's going to push the stick down. And that will tell us what our pressure's like. So you need to make sure that that's taped on really well, because if it pushes up too hard, it might come off. So make sure that's taped down nicely. And now the next thing you're going to do is you're going to get your piece of card and you're going to fold it so there's 3 lines evenly spaced. So once, twice. So actually it'll have 2 lines down the middle, not 3. And then you can use that to form this sort of triangle shape, and that will stand up on its own. So I'm not going to tape it now, but I'll do it in a minute. So now, and I'll turn it around so you can see, you've got your barometer pointing at this. Now, how do we know what's up and what's down? How are we going to tell? we're going to do it with a scale. So what you need to do first is, this is where your balloon is going to sit. That's where it's sitting when it's neutral, when it's right in the middle. So you can use that to draw the first point, the middle point in your scale. So make a little mark. It's easier with a marker pen. You made a mark there? No, I haven't. It's easier with a marker pen, but make a little mark where it sits when it's neutral. And that's the middle of your scale. So I'll try and do that now. So I've got a little neutral mark there. And now what you can do is you can use a ruler to draw what's called a graduated scale. So you're going to draw lines the same space apart, down, and then up again. And it's probably a good idea to do them different colours. So you could do them red and green, for example. So the red ones underneath means the weather's going to be rubbish, and the green ones higher up mean the weather's going to be better. So the higher it is, the warmer the weather's going to be. The lower down it is, the colder and rainier it's going to be. So find yourself a ruler, and you can do your graduated scale. And I'll do it and come back to you in a minute. So then you can see whether it's going or down like that. All right, I'm back. So I was talking before about a graduated scale. Now, a graduated scale is basically just a scale that you can read with the same amount of increase or decrease, if you see what I mean. So what I've done is I've taken a ruler and I've just done 5 millimeter increments. So 5 millimeters and then 1 centimeter, then 1.5, etc, 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 all the way up to 5 and -5 down the bottom. And as you can see, it says great at the top for the weather's going to be good, and rubbish at the bottom when the weather's going to be poo. So when I put my barometer next to it, leave my barometer, I can read where it is on the scale. And what you have to do is day by day, move this so you can see my face. Day by day, you can take measurements. So you'll need to do this every day, maybe 3 times a day. So once when you get up, once when you have lunch, and once about tea time, so that you can see if the pressure's changing. And if you do it over a week, you'll be able to see whether this works. So if at the beginning of the week it says the pressure's really, really high, you can predict that the weather's going to be good. Next day, see what happens, and so on and so forth. You can do the scale however you want, really. You can just do it in centimeters. You can do it really tiny increments of like a millimeter. It's up to you. The smaller the measurements in between, the more accurate you'll get. But this is just a way for you to see how it's changing. So it doesn't really matter. As long as they're the same space apart, it doesn't really matter. It's just for you, really. So give it a go. See what happens. I've never made one of these before, so it's an experiment for me as well. We're going to see what happens. So do one of these, send me your results, and we'll see if it worked. Great. Have a good time.